We begin with breaking news tonight. Now, we have good news and bad news out of the Biden White House. All right, first, the good news. The most pompous and dishonest press secretary in American history. She will be gone at the end of the week. The bad news, her replacement is a full-blown tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist who thinks that many of her political opponents are racist. And we've got a full Hannity investigation into Karine Jean-Pierre coming up. But we begin tonight with this. The big guy, Joe Biden, his genius new plan to battle inflation. Take a look.
And I agree with what Chairman Powell said last week, that the number one threat is the strength, and that strength that we built is inflation. Look, I know you got to be frustrated. I know. I can taste it.
Inflation in this country, do you take any responsibility for your policies?
I think our policies help, not hurt. Think about what they say. The vast majority of the economists think that this is going to be a real tough problem to solve, but it's not because of spending.
I'm screaming at the TV, how have they helped, Joe? Now, since Joe has clearly lost any ability to communicate because of his cognitive decline, allow me to try to translate for him. There's no plan to curb inflation. By the way, it's not transitory either. There's no plan to lower gas prices. There's no plan to spur on economic growth. Or as Bloomberg reported, quote, inside the administration, there is a sense of frustration, doom, and some say magical thinking about inflation. Magical thinking? We're now on the verge of what is a devastating recession, coupled with record-setting inflation, and, of course, on top of that, a supply chain crisis. And gas prices, yep, they just hit a brand new record high along with diesel prices. Now, the stock market is plunging right before our eyes. Fortunes, I mean fortunes, are being lost by the middle class in this country and people on fixed incomes in this country. That means their pensions, retirement funds, 401ks, they're getting wrecked in the market. There's a nationwide shortage of baby formula. And the White House is thinking about the economy in a magical way? Well, it's time for heads to roll. Joe's economic and energy policies, they're nothing but a complete and utter disaster. Biden's inflation is now costing you, the average American household, over $5,200 annually. And new numbers out today show the average American is paying $2,000 more per year just for gasoline. But nothing is going to change because the Democratic Party is ruled by socialists that are all part of this religious climate alarmist cult, and they will never retreat from their radical agenda. I don't see that ever happening. They don't seem to care if you, the American people, suffer. They don't care if the country implodes, so long as the system is fundamentally transformed the way they want and capitalism becomes a thing of the past. And according to them, we all must pay for our sins against Mother Earth and beg Iran and Venezuela and OPEC to produce the oil we could be producing ourselves. So no matter how high gas prices go, Biden's not going to open up drilling and fracking. He's not going to greenlight the Keystone XL pipeline. The Alberta premier said we'd be getting 900,000 barrels of Canadian oil a day had he let that continue to be finished by now. And no matter how bad inflation gets, Joe's not going to stop spending either.
You have changed.